Holy moly. Okay, friends, so in this video, I want to talk about your vehicle's ERS system. Essentially, what I mean by that is your electronic range selection system. This is only going to be available in automatic transmissions. Let's talk about it. Now, your ERS system is an abbreviation for your electronic range selector system. Essentially, this is going to be for automatic transmissions only, and it's only on some makes and models of different types of vehicles. The way that you're going to be able to tell if you have an ERS system inside your particular automobile is if you were to look at the gear selector area or even on the steering wheel. If you see something that has a plus or minus and it doesn't have to do with your cruise control, more than likely you have an ERS system. And essentially what these buttons are here for is to give you a little bit more control over the functionality and shiftability of your transmission. Now, why would somebody want to use this ERS system? Well, maybe you're driving down the highway with your pickup truck and you're towing something that's fairly heavy. You happen to see that there's a hill coming up. As you approach this hill, you're still accelerating to try to get up it, but for some reason the transmission isn't downshifting. A possible reason why the transmission wouldn't want to downshift is because of the speed that you're going at. It doesn't really think that it needs to downshift, but what you're noticing is that your speed is slowly decreasing. So essentially at this point, what you might want to do is go ahead and push on that negative button or the minus button. What that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and put your transmission down into the next lowest gear. So if you're cruising along in 8th gear, essentially if you have an 8-speed transmission, it's going to go ahead and try to put it into 7th gear. This, of course, is going to boost up your RPMs and give you a little bit more torque to get up that hill. Maybe it's not enough. Go ahead and hit that negative button one more time. It's going to drop you down one more gear. Maybe at this point, you go ahead and you get up to the top of that hill and you start coming on back down. What are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and hit that plus button until it comes back up into 8th gear or even back up into the drive system. So once you have it back onto the D without having any number there, more than likely that's going to go ahead and activate your MDS system if you have that. Essentially, that's for fuel saving. If you need more information on that, check out the link below. Or maybe you're the type of person that likes to be in a little bit more control of your drive system. Maybe you like to just drive around in 3rd gear whenever you're driving around in the city. You like to have that little bit of pep every time you step on the accelerator. Other situations where you might use this might be you're the type of person that likes to drive around in a manual transmission. You've always had one, that's what you learned to drive on, like most of us, and essentially this is going to make your automatic feel a little bit more like home. Or maybe you prefer to use the engine as a brake instead of using your actual automobile brakes. Typically what you can do for that is if you're coming to an area where you need to slow down, you can go ahead and downshift and just use the engine to slow you down. What you're going to notice when you do this is that the engine RPMs is going to What you're going to notice as you tend to do this is that the engine RPMs will go up as you start to downshift. The RPMs are going up, but you're not actually accelerating, so the engine force is going to be trying to slow down your car for you, putting a lot less pressure on those brakes. This is going to especially be handy in situations where maybe you're driving down a long, steep hill, maybe such as driving down Mount Washington Road or something like that, where you don't necessarily want to just keep riding your brakes the whole way down, heating them up so they're going to pulsate on you when you get off the road. And then, of course, maybe you just want to try to use that if you're just driving down the road or down a highway where, like I said, you have a nice steep hill and you don't necessarily want to be using your brakes all the time. Or maybe the person on the side of you at the red light is revving up his engine and we're both waiting for the green light. So maybe we should talk about some reasons why you shouldn't be using this. Not everybody is going to be the best at multitasking. Typically, getting behind the wheel is going to require a lot of multitasking. You have to pay attention to the road, what's going on in front of you, on the sides of you, behind you. You got to make sure you got your seatbelt on, and of course, make sure that you're going the proper speed. This is a lot of things to think about, and of course, having to figure out when to shift and where to shift is of course an extra thing that maybe some people just don't want to think about. Maybe you're trying to get on the highway. You just came from a stop, you're getting ready to get onto that on-ramp, so you're going 1, 2, 3. As you're getting on the on-ramp, you're seeing a whole bunch of traffic coming at you, so you're paying attention to that. Finally, you got a space that you can get out, so you go ahead and hammer on that gas a little bit. You start accelerating to try to get out into the traffic that's moving approximately 65 or whatever the speed limit is, but for some reason you're not necessarily paying attention to the fact that you should be shifting. If you're stuck inside 3rd gear, the transmission isn't going to go any higher than that, even though it wants to. Typically what's going to happen is your RPMs are just going to go woo, and you might even go wong, 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 at the end, which is of course your rev limiter. At that point, you're probably going to realize that I forgot to shift, and maybe you're even going to think to yourself, maybe I don't really need to be in the manual select mode. Of course, there's those people that just like to get in their car and go. They just want to hop in, buckle up, start up the car, put it in drive, and drive down the road. They don't want to think about much else because they got a whole lot going on. Like I said before, you got a lot of things to pay attention to. What's going on in front of you, the sides of you, behind you, and of course the speed limit. One more thing to pay attention to is just a hassle for some people. And of course, we should probably talk about the possibility for transmission or even engine damage. Theoretically, if you were driving down the highway doing the speed limit as you should, and if you were to go ahead and hold on to that negative button or minus button, wherever it happens to be located, theoretically what should happen is your transmission's automatically going to go down into what it believes is the safest gear. So essentially, if you're in 8th gear, because you have an 8-speed transmission, you hold that negative button, it's going to come down a couple gears. And essentially what that's going to want to do is it's going to bring your RPMs way up. And of course, if it comes way up for too long of a period of time or even too abruptly, you could potentially cause damage to either, like I said, your transmission or your engine. Whatever the case, the use of this system is essentially going to give you the power to decide when the transmission is going to shift. So essentially, if you decided that you wanted to put your transmission in 5th gear, what that's going to do is it makes it so the transmission has the opportunity to use gears 1 through 5. If you were to put it in 3rd gear, you got 1 through 3. If you go ahead and put it up into whatever your top gear is, whether it's 6 or even 8, that's going to make sure that you can go ahead and go up to that particular gear. Also, by using the manual shift option for these types of transmissions, what it's going to do is it's going to turn off your fuel saving mode on your particular application. Theoretically, if you were to have a Mopar type of car or a Chrysler of some sort, you're going to have an MDS system, which essentially means that it's going to turn off multiple cylinders on your engine and it's going to help you save fuel overall. So instead of using all 8 cylinders when you want them, you're going to be using 4. But if you use this particular system where you're kind of doing your own shifting, it's going to temporarily disable that so you have all 8 cylinders, or however many cylinders you happen to have for your application, all the time. And one last thing that I want to mention, you don't necessarily have to worry about going into this system and back out and back in and back out as you're driving. You don't have to worry about confusing it or even breaking it. In exception of, for some reason, if you go ahead and hold down that negative button while you're driving and it downshifts too abruptly. Aside from that, happy shifting. And just as a word of caution, if you were to do this in a slippery condition, such as maybe snowy conditions, you could potentially lose control of your vehicle. Okay friends, so that's pretty much all I've got for you on a car's ERS system. I hope this video helped you out a little bit, and I hope you learned a little something. If you did learn something, or maybe you got a little story to tell, leave it in the comments section below, because I always love to hear from you. If you liked the video, smash on that like button for me, it would mean the world. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. That way there you can be kept up with all of our latest content. Thanks.